everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and as you can see, I'm in a different place. I think I mentioned it in another video, so I'm not sure if that video is going first or this one. I forgot, so guess we'll find out. I think this is first. But just so you know, I'm in a different place, and you may see a dog behind me. Well, she ain't behind me right now, but she might be coming by. So just get ready. We're doing another spotlight video. I'm wearing my old Indie Film Cafe shirt. I'm gonna be getting sometime, hopefully this year, this summer or something. I might get some shirt, a new shirt for Indie Film Cafe. I'll try to get one for the Blu-ray Hunter and horror film lovers too, but like there's only so much money I have, doing that. So anywho, spotlight is on the Rambo box set. So I was trying to think of what could I do a spotlight on and what did I not talk about yet. And I do love my box sets, and this is one of my favorite box sets. Because it comes with all three Rambos, like the trilogy, right? The first trilogy. The other Rambo, was it John Rambo? That was fine. Or there was like Rambo 4, that whatever. Those are the fine. You know, this is the real Rambo to me. Like this is the movies that really set this thing. And so first off, we're going to talk about the first Rambo movie a little bit. Which if you watch the other two, you would not think this would be like the same movie. This almost feels like a different movie. This is more like a psychological action movie, which I don't know if there's any other psychological action movies out there. But like it starts with John Rambo coming home from war and everything, and he is got PTSD and he kind of still feels like he's on the battlefield. He's out in the jungle, he's out doing everything. And then he kind of just starts kind of having like a little bit of flashbacks or whatever, and he starts thinking he's in there, and he just goes wild, like killing all these cops and all these other people and stuff, and hunting people, and as if he's like back in Vietnam, and it just shows like the grotesqueness of war and everything. And the funny thing is, like, I never thought about it, but like, wouldn't he be in jail for a long ass time for like murder? Like he like he didn't murder for the country. He like literally murdered people, I believe, like in this movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do believe he did murder a bunch of people. So wouldn't he have been like even if he was a decorated war soldier that was just having PTSD flashbacks, like he'd either be in a mental asylum. That makes me wonder, did all the movies that take place after this, are they all just in John Rambo's mind? Is that what the last Rambo movie is going to be? Is like Rambo in a retirement home, or retirement mental home, mental hospital, and he's walking around and he's like remembering all these things that never happened because he was in jail, and it's all in his head. I don't know. Um, this disc is awesome. It's got commentary with Sylvester Stallone, commentary with writer David Morrell, advanced trivia track, drawing first blood. I'm guessing that's a featurette. Why did it say that? All right. Anyway, let's see. Uh, interactive menus and all this stuff. So, First Blood. It wasn't even called Rambo at the time. It was just called First Blood. So the second movie, that's when they realized they had a thing, And they were like, I think they were like, let's not make him just have PTSD anymore. That's going to be kind of boring. Let's let him go out into battle, and he's completely sort of fine, you know? Like he doesn't have any issues. It almost feels like the first movie is not the same, or something or whatever. But anywho, next movie is Rambo: First Blood Part 2. And this was actually uh written by Sylvester Stallone and James fucking Cameron. Yes, the Terminator writer, Titanic, Avatar writer, director, uh, James Cameron wrote this movie. That's just, I know he also did like what, Aliens, but he also directed that. He did not direct this movie. It's directed by George B. Cosmatos. And it doesn't just star Sylvester Stallone, but it also stars Richard Crenna, and Charles Napier, and Stephen Burkoff, with music by Jerry Goldsmith. The commentary is by director George Cosmatos, which weird that Sylvester didn't do the commentary with him. And we get to win this time documentary. So, out of the blue trivia track. That sounds kind of fun. So, all in all, I mean, I the first one is a great movie, a great action drama, where you really care about the character. This gets to be the Rambo we all know. Like the Rambo that you see in the video games and the Rambo you see on the cartoons or whatever. That's fucking the Rambo that we know from these movies. Not that one, but these movies. Um, so this was the start of like Rambo being really Rambo. Um, and then last in this collection, but definitely not least. I love this movie. A lot of people say like, okay, so the first movie is the best, but I feel like it's counted. It should be counted on its own, like So depending on part one and two, and a lot of people like two, and some people like three. I love three, and three is just so good. Um, Look at that. So good. And I've interviewed the co-writer Sheldon Lettich, who actually I believe he was in Vietnam, and he got to like write on personal experience, which is pretty cool. I think that might have been why Sylvester Stallone hired him, but he co-wrote this movie, and and if you watch my interview on Indie Film Cafe, with him, it's the first Indie Film Cafe spotlight that we ever did. I did it when I was in LA. Interestingly enough, because I was in LA visiting, and I hit up Sheldon at one point just to tell him I was a huge fan of Only the Strong. This was on like Facebook or whatever. And I said, I'm just a huge fan of Only the Strong. I love your other movies. I love Lionheart and Double Impact, all that stuff. Like great. I mean, working with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I even forgot he co-wrote this movie. And then he invited me over to his house when I was out there to pick up a uh poster of Only the Strong because he had like a poster left and he wanted to get rid of it. So why not give rid of it to a fan? So I asked him if I could interview him at his house, and he was very gracious. And he had posters of all the movies, including Rambo. So I had to ask about Rambo 3 and working with Stallone. And he loved working with Stallone. So this has audio commentary by director Peter McDonald, Afghanistan Land Crisis documentary, and Out of the Blue trivia track. So it's pretty cool. I would have loved to hear commentary with the writer, co-writer, and stuff, but they didn't do that. I just really enjoyed this one a lot, and it's not because I know the writer or whatever co-writer. It's because I just enjoy it. It's a fun movie. It is it is so Rambo. When you think of Rambo, like I said, part two and three are really the ones you think of. When I remember when I was like a kid, I was in I was visiting some place or whatever, and it was at a hotel, and it was not in Virginia, so I don't know where it was, but I went into the hotel, and on the TV was playing, what is it? One of the Rambos. I think it could have been Rambo 2. And I just remember sitting there watching, just Rambo just shooting all these random people and stuff. And then they did the Hot Shots movies, which were like kind of poking fun at Rambo, like Hot Shot Part 2, made fun of Rambo a lot and stuff. And so, but I didn't actually get into Rambo till I was in my 20s. Like I saw the Rambo stuff, but I wasn't into war stuff and when I was younger, and I'm still really not, you know. But Rambo, I don't really feel like it's a war movie. It's a sort of a survival movie generally, or rescue movie. Usually he's out there to rescue people and then survive, people trying to kill him. So that's how I kind of view Rambo. And that's sort of what he did in the first movie. I mean, he was just trying to survive. These cops were basically trying to, take him down, and he was not going to have it. So, and, that's it. So, of all the was it the of all these movies, I love every single one of these. Like I would love one day to do like a triple feature where I just watch all three of them back to back. Like that would be so much fun. Um, which one's your favorite? Do you like First Blood or Rambo First Blood Part 2 or Rambo 3, which they didn't call First Blood Rambo Part or what first what Rambo First Blood Part 3, they just called it Rambo 3. They started getting like lazy, like let's just call it Rambo, you know. You don't need the first blood, because that was like the line in the movie is like I draw first blood, or whatever. Um Great stuff, man. If you haven't seen the Rambo movies, what are you doing with your life? You should go watch the Rambo movies. They're fun. Like they're just they're just popcorn movies to me. And I like that. Sometimes I need that. I need a Chuck Norris movie. I need a Sylvester Stallone Rambo movie. I need Arnold Schwarzenegger blowing shit up. That's all I need. I don't need, movies that have some kind of political agenda hidden behind the action that kind of only happens once in a little while. I need a movie where people just blowing shit up because people just like to blow shit up. So that's my spotlight on the Rambo movies. So once again, let me know what you guys like, which ones, and we'll talk soon. Yeah. Bye.